Bonnie here with a trainer tip for you today. Oftentimes in our fitness classes or just in your own workouts, you're going to be faced with abdominal crunches or curls, and it can be confusing to know exactly how to hold your back, your neck, your head, your arms to do that exercise. So I wanted to go through a couple tips and hints to make those exercises more safe and effective. When you're lying down in position to do an ab curl, you're going to have natural curves in your spine, meaning the lowest part of your back is going to be touching. You will probably have space, so my hand is, between your low back and the floor. Your shoulder blades will be heavy, and then the head will touch. When we curl up, you want to keep your spine as long as possible, and that's from the head all the way to the tip of the tailbone. Sometimes the arms are reaching, sometimes we hold a weight up or into the chest or hands behind the head. None of that really matters, but what we want to think about is where the lift comes from. That even if you're holding the head, it's not just the head that's doing the moving. You actually want to start, if possible, with the head slightly raised, elbows out, and that the bend really comes from those upper abdominals. So you fold the torso upward and create length on the way down. Now while you're moving, you're creating length through the spine, meaning we want to really avoid having a lot of movement through the pelvis. So as I curl up, I'm not tucking or forcing the back to come down. What I'm working on is keeping it nice and stable as I lift up and away with those upper abdominals. Now this changes when we lift the legs. Think of the legs like weights, right? So if you add a weight to these muscles, we need them to work a little harder. So you're going to really think belly button down, and that is probably going to make your back a little bit flatter. So now as you curl up here, you're trying to keep the back as it was. That means when I lay down and lift, I'm not creating a lot of space. For example, that would look like me laying down and popping everything up. There's all that space there. But then when I curl up, there's no space at all. That's what we want to avoid. It doesn't really matter if there's a little bit of space. The spine is built that way. What we're working on is the stability of our core muscles as we lift up with those upper abdominals, and the eyes should gaze forward toward the thighs. We want to keep length in the neck and avoid looking up. That's going to put more strain on our neck. So we look forward into that exercise. And after you've done a few, you should notice the work through those upper abdominals. So the takeaways here, you have natural curves to your back. You want to really allow those to be there. But when you're doing an ab curl, we want to try to hold the back as still as we can. Whether our feet are down, you're probably going to have a little more curve to your spine. When the legs elevate, it's a bigger ask of the abdominals. So you draw them up and in, and try to keep your back a little more in contact with the floor. That does not mean it has to be completely flat, because the spine is not built that way. So hopefully these little hints will help you out the next time you go to do your crunches. Thanks so much.